Namaste, beloveds. This is Mother with Wisdom, and it's been a while since I did a video, but um, I really believe and I'm feeling that it's really called for. So I'm coming out of my own um, comfort zone, so to speak, to do this. It's winter time, and I automatically go into hibernation mode. But let me get to specifically what this video is about. It has to do a lot with um, what is going on right now um, in on a global stage, on a cosmic stage, even I would say. And I want to basically put it as simply as I can, okay? And how it's coming to me is after the election of 2024 in the United States. And I'm just going to say it, beloveds, because I'm not going to dance around with it. Our programmed intellect is got us courted, imprisoned to chasing chaos. And let me break that down a little bit, okay? Everything that we think we know has been given to us, has been taught to us through the matrix system. Okay, our feelings about society, our feelings about our self-worth, our feelings about others, our feelings about our place, our responsibilities, our duties, our sense of competition, all of that has been fostered by the matrix system. Okay? Those intellectual thoughts, those intellectual pursuits is what keeps us bound to the matrix system. I want you to think of the movies, The Matrix. Okay? Becoming unplugged simply meant that you're no longer following your intellectual programming, your intellectual conditioning. You are now on a deeper, higher, more original, what I would call spiritual level of instinct and intuition that overrides your intellect. That's a lot. But unpack it, go slow, think about it, dive into it, look and see how it applies to your own life, to what you think you know about yourself, what you think you know about others, your connections to others, your feelings about um the results of this election, your feelings and thoughts about where you think the world itself is headed. And I want you to understand it's not so much the world you're worried about, it's the matrix system. It's the current matrix system that is in place that has you worried. Okay? And what you need to do is to disconnect yourself from the matrix system. You need to disconnect yourself from what you think you know, from appearances of how something looks on the surface or the outside. And you need to use your spiritual instincts, your spiritual intuition, and go deeper into true seeing, into third eye seeing, into your cosmic chakra centers, hormonal ways of knowing through the aura, through the just through your spiritual self your spiritual senses. It is now time, beloveds, to grow up. Growing up means raising your kundalini. Your kundalini is your aligned, balanced chakras and your awareness of it and your connection of it and your being disciplined enough to raise it up, to grow a spine, to support yourself spiritually. You're no longer supported by your thoughts and feelings, your emotions, the knowledge of your good and evil and what you think you know and what's right and what's wrong and so forth and so on. So, beloveds, there's a lot ahead of us. There's a lot ahead of us. And we are the ones who have been generated throughout the generations of existence for this particular cycle, season, of obtaining spiritual freedom from the matrix system. Okay? And what you need to do is to really look inside yourself. Who are you? That's self-inquiry. No one can answer that but you. And it has to go beyond the matrix. When I say who are you or self-inquiry, it's not about who you are physically. It's not about where you were born. It's not about what you have materially. It's not about what you look like. Spiritually, your frequencies, your vibration, your spectrums. Who are you? Are you high? Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you evenly yoked with your own self? That means, are you at peace with yourself? Are you at peace with what's taking place in this world? Because what is taking place is freedom. It is the dissolving of the matrix system. It is coming undone. It is coming undone because it is no longer a great mystery. What is no longer a great mystery can no longer fool you, can no longer dominate your thoughts and your feelings, and can no longer control you, can no longer dictate your responses and your reactions. You are no longer fuel for the system. It can no longer consume your energy. Your spiritual energy makes it sick. Your spiritual energy is toxic to the matrix system. And that's why you want to purify your spiritual energies. That's why you want to detach as much as you can from everything that is born, that is designed, that is connected to the matrix system. And beloveds, that's just about everything you can feel, see, touch, your thoughts. It's what we're constantly fed. So it means you have to starve yourself from the matrix system. And you have to start feeding upon the milk and honey of the Holy Spirit. So you're retraining yourself to tap into the spiritual, to tap into the unseen, to tap into what is between the lines, not what you intellectually would put together as 1 plus 1 equals 2. Okay? Or 1 times 1 equals 1 when it actually equals 2. Okay? And so, beloveds, there is, like I said, a lot of deprogramming that must take place. This is spiritually, cosmically the time for that. My own evolutionary process speaks volumes. It speaks volumes to me. The things that I have been able to detach from. And when I say things, I mean thoughts and feelings that had me caged, imprisoned, corded by like an umbilical cord to them. And I would actually keen and wail and grieve over anything that tried to separate me from these thoughts and feelings, because they were mine. They were all I had in this matrix system. I controlled them, or so I thought. They controlled me, actually. And they were not my friends. They were not kind to my health, to my wealth, to my spirit. They did not hold me sacred. They held me stupid, valueless, unworthy, whorish, undisciplined, unlovable, unknowable. I am none of those things. None of them. So that was all a lie. And I was caught. I was hooked. I was baited into holding on to that lie, to those lies. And the biggest lie of all was that I had no control over my thoughts and feelings. How do you control your thoughts and your feelings? They just arise within you, and they just take over, only if you let them. When you start having the conversations, no, that is not how that happened. No, that is not what I want to think about. That is not what I want to dwell on. No, no thank you. I don't want that on my plate right now. No, I'm not finna digest that. No, I'm not finna visit that again. No, I'm not finna take my titty out and feed that again. Okay, no. No, no. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. I've had quite enough of that. I don't want to think about that anymore. I don't want to feel that anymore. I take away all of my agreement from it. I take back all of my power so that it has no power over me anymore. And it can come up as much as it wants to. But there's no fertile soil for it to grow in. So it just withers and fades away. Because I don't hold on to it. I don't give it shelter. It is of a world that I am not a part of. It is of the intellect seeking a home, seeking to overthrow the spiritual, intuitive, instinctual, divine knowledge that is part of my cosmic lineage. It's not worth it. Getting back to the election cycle, beloveds, you'll drive yourself crazy intellectually trying to connect all the dots to see what happened. It makes no sense. When something makes no sense, that means it's chaos. Chaos doesn't make sense. And chaos will engage the intellect in a merry chase, in a dance, in a rumba, in a tango. You want to figure me out? Come on. Let's go. Let's dance. Let's do this. Chaos bends your intellect over and rapes it without any Vaseline lubricant. Again and again and again and again. That is quite graphic. But I want you to understand how this system, this matrix system, has been molesting you since you were born. And I want you to understand all the attachments, the whole Kamala campaign was very beautiful. It was very spiritually defined as a collective wholehearted intentions and message. Towards the end, the intellect took over. The intellect that spoke of how can I say this, spirit? Getting popular votes, getting matrix system votes. Okay, matrix system votes. What do I mean by that? That means the acts, the personalities, the entities that were and that are all attached to Diddy, okay? And when I say attached to Diddy, I mean there's a spiritual connection, beloveds. That spiritual connection is a spiritual cord. It's a spiritual thread that ties all of them together. Ties all of them together through their soul's longing, through their soul's worth. And what started out as a campaign for the people became influenced by the need for what I will say the popular vote. Okay? So, you started off on a spiritual campaign for the soul of America. Yet in the end, you sold out for those principles and personalities that have enslaved America, that is fooling America, that has America under its spell, that is trafficking in children, that is binding beings to the matrix system. Okay, that is injecting chaos, depths of chaos. And so we sit here and we say, what is going on? Why can't people see? It's called a reprobate mind. A reprobate mind is embroiled, is ensnared, is a slave to chaos. It is an intellectually bound dichotomy of influence. You've become intellectual property. You behave in a specific cosmic, geometric, mathematical pattern of that's easily predicted. Simply because of your intellectual pursuits, your intellectual beliefs. You're being led by the nose through your intellect, what you think you know, what you feel, what your thoughts are. And you think they're yours, but they've been programmed. You've been conditioned. You've been molested since childhood with these ways, with these thoughts, with these feelings, with these conditionings, with your understanding and your place inside of chaos. And you've bought into it. And it's not your fault, because what else is there? Who has taught you differently? Who speaks of the spirit being superior to the intellect? Your spiritual consciousness, your spiritual expanding consciousness is what saves you. It saves you by removing you from the matrix. Intellectually, you want to go right back to the matrix. You don't want to be weaned from it because you're addicted and you're attached. The pattern has become all you know. And the sense of competition within the pattern is addictive. And when I say addictive, I want you to understand chemically, hormonally, within your cells, within your organs, within your tissues, you are being flooded, you are being programmed with desires, with cravings, with needs. And so this pushes the buttons and hooks you up and hooks you back into the matrix system, the patterns, the preconditions that are necessary for you to get your fix. The maze pattern. And you're not alone in it. So you don't see it. You don't observe it as what it truly is. And people can tell you all day long. People can show you all day long. But you have to redeem yourself. You have to purchase yourself. You have to resurrect yourself. You have to allow that intellect, what you think you know, to go through a birth, death, and rebirth cycle and season, and come up on the other side of it And that's what this whole generational, collective generational energy is at this particular moment. We have all arrived here in this moment, in this cycle, in this season of cosmic revolution and evolution. And it's spiritual, it's not intellectual. And in order for you to survive what is coming, you need to detach. You need to look into the times of Noah and who Noah was and what Noah knew within his spiritual self, not from his intellect. The things that Noah had observed of the matrix system and why he understood the matrix system was ending and who was ending it. It's a purification. It's a separation. It is how can I say this, Spirit? It is a recognition and a remembrance before the intellect was born. That's the best way to say it. And you can think of that in the terms of the Garden of Eden before Adam and Eve ate from the tree. Who they were in their pure conscious state. They were infants. They were learning. They were becoming spiritually intimate with the Great Spirit. That was interfered with through knowledge. See what I'm saying, beloveds? There are those of you who will hear this, and there are those that won't mean nothing to. It's more intellectual fodder for you to consider. But for those who are spiritually aligned and attuned to what I'm saying, to the frequencies of the words, of the essence that's flowing from me, oh, you get it. You get it. It's not something you have to think about. The truth of it resonates with your entire cosmic being. You remember, you recollect the truth of it. And this is for you. This is for you. And I'm going to end this now, and I didn't write it, but I'll be writing about it. So it's not neat. It's kind of messy, but it's there. It's here. Take your time, beloveds. You do have time. Things are unraveling at a what seems as a fast pace, but understand that this has been foretold for centuries before you existed, for before cosmic time of the planet Earth itself. All of this was known by the Great Spirit, by the Holy Spirit, and by the Divine Son. Okay? Understand again the universality of this spiritual information. This spiritual information that you are receiving now erases, erodes, overpowers what you've been told is a mystery. There's no mystery. There's only discernment through spiritual wisdom. But you have to expand your spiritual conscious awareness in order to receive the necessary spiritual tools, spiritual discipline, spiritual detachment, spiritual understanding that your foundation, that your essence is not unknowable to you. It's not a mystery. It's an intimate source that awaits connecting with you and expanding beyond anything you ever could imagine. And because you are able to expand your spiritual consciousness, you are hated. There is a cosmic force that is unable to expand beyond its creation of intellect. And that intellect is old news. It's a generation that's gone. It's dying. It's like the dinosaurs. It no longer serves its purpose because there's a newer purpose, and it will be the fertilizer for the new. So basically what I'm saying is Babylon is falling. And all the pretense, all the lies, all the sorcery, all the so-called mystery schools, and the great hype and hoopla. It's like the Wizard of Oz. You finally get to see the wizard. And you understand that he's been operating behind the curtain. He's been pulling strings. He's been influencing through trickery, through sleight of hand, through illusion, through lies. Nothing about him is real. He invented a whole system built upon his knowledge of himself and his ability to manipulate, his narcissistic ability to manipulate others into seeing what he wanted them to see, into knowing what he wanted them to know, all the while limiting them from their own spiritual instincts and intuition and connection to cosmic sources. Okay, beloveds, that is going to do it. Again, pay attention to my Facebook page. I will be writing and posting as much as Facebook will let me. Lately, they've got a hard on for my posts, saying it goes against their community. It goes against their knowledge. They don't want, they're cherry picking. They're trying to annoy. They're trying to insert chaos. But they're seen. And it's expected. Goes with the territory of spiritual warfare. So I'm not chasing behind the chaos. I'm not responding through emotions. I'm detached. It is what it is. And it's going to be what it's going to be. And ain't nothing nobody can do to stop it. That's cosmic law. From the beginning of the beginnings. What you reap, you sow. Karmically, you create your own ending. There is such peace in knowing that when you are purifying your own heart, when you're purifying your own chakra, emotional centers, your aura, when you're removing the toxic. Notice I didn't say you're removing the dark. That's part of you. But you can remove the toxic. The toxic doesn't serve you. It serves the intellect. It serves the personality. It serves the matrix system. Let it go, beloveds. Let it go. Detach. Work on your addictions. Work on your relationship with yourself. Let go of so much trying to understand the great mystery. It's not a mystery. It's very plain. It's been written in the Maseroth, in the cosmic sands of time. It's stitched. Everything is right there in the nature of its existence. There's nothing to figure out. It's all there. Be still. Use your spiritual instincts and your spiritual insight. Close your eyes. Listen from inside, not to the outside. The white noise, the... No. The most peaceful thing to you should be your heartbeat. And you should be able to be one with it. Because that is the universal vibration. That is cosmic. Okay, beloveds, that is going to do it. I've said everything that I wanted to say. I'm writing a couple of things, and one is about forgiveness, um, and I'll be getting it out soon. Um, should have been out, but there's, like I said, a lot of removing of toxicity around my environment, my atmosphere, within my body, within my speech, within my knowledge, being centered and grounded enough so I can freely connect and be in deeper, more intimate relationship with my spiritual instinct and intuition that I incarnated with and that has not been taught by a matrix system. And so these are the things I'm working on, and I just wanted to share. And I just wanted to throw out the hope of not being trampled by your thoughts and your feelings regarding this matrix system's elections and governings and governments and the powers and principalities that want you to believe that they are the great mystery and that they are in control. They are not. They are the rats and roaches. They are the vermin that as soon as the light comes on, they scatter. You are the light, beloveds. Radiate it and watch them scatter. Okay? Because they know. Why do they scatter? Because they know beyond a shadow of a doubt what awaits them is the second death, is the lake of fire that they gave birth to, and that is chasing them, and that's going to catch them and consume them. Why? Very simple. What you sow, you reap. You can call it karma. You can call it what you want. But you can't get away from it. And there is no denying the truth of something. There's no denying the truth. No matter how committed you are to the lie and to the chaos, that stillness, that I am that I am, sees it all. Wills it all. And there is nothing higher than that. Okay, that is going to do it. Namaste. I do love you. I do love us as a collective. I do enjoy connecting. I do enjoy the spiritual dialogues, the spiritual inquiries, the social grace and dances of it all. They are sacred movements. They are sacred revolutions. They are sacred evolutions. They are part of the movement that reveals that there is no mystery. There is only spiritual mastery. And that is only to be recognized and remembered. Okay, namaste, beloveds.